This is an ABC Action News Tracking the Tropics update.
Brought to you by the Wise Company. You can't prevent certain events in life, but you can prepare for them.
How you doing, everybody? I'm Chief Meteorologist Denis Phillips. Boy, oh boy, we've got a lot to talk about, but we're going to focus on Florence. That's really the one that's posing the greatest risk to the U.S. Isaac down to our south, really not too worried about it. We'll keep our eyes on it just in case. It could try to come up toward Cuba or Florida down the road, but there might not be anything left by the time it does. There's Florence. Winds of 120 miles an hour. Pretty decent chance this actually stalls out very close to the coast, maybe just east of landfall, maybe around Wilmington, North Carolina on Friday. Now, if that is the case, then it may just kind of hug the coastline. Heaviest winds would likely stay offshore. They're still looking at winds of 100, maybe 105 miles an hour. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a lot. But compared to Cat 4 or Cat 5, there's a big difference in terms of damage with structures from a 2 or a 3 to a 4 or a 5. So that's the good news. Unfortunately, the bad news is if it's a slow mover, and we really believe it will, that means flooding is going to be a major issue for this area. The spaghetti model is a lot of agreement. The outlier is the European model, taking it closer to Charleston. Can never write off the Euro. It's traditionally the best model on Earth. All right, so you look at the wind forecast. Notice heaviest wind stays offshore. But as we go through the coastal sections, and this again is the European model, taking it all the way down to Charleston, there's still some wind there because the center is offshore. Now, I'm not sold on that yet because typically when you get something even close to land, there's a lot of friction and that'll cause the storm to weaken. But if it's able to tap the warm waters of the Gulf Stream, it can kind of maintain its strength. So it's a real tough forecast on just how strong Florence remains when it makes that track down along the coastline and then eventually moving inland. Water, storm surge, flooding. Those are the biggest issues. We always talk about hide from the wind, run from the water. Well, this red is storm surge greater than 9 feet, and you can see how it goes into a lot of these inlets as well. So unfortunately, I think this is going to be the biggest concern, where that water is going to go and how far inland it's going to go. And then you throw in the fact that, oh, by the way, 20 to 30 inches of rain because there's such a slow-moving system. Pretty clear from Wilmington down to the south toward Myrtle Beach, maybe a little bit more south than that, is where the worst of this will be.